Long ago, before the rise and fall of empires we now study in history books, there was whispered a tale of a city beyond imagination. A city said to possess advanced knowledge, breathtaking beauty, and unmatched power. That city was Atlantis. In a single night, according to the legend, it vanished beneath the waves, swallowed by the sea in a cataclysm so sudden, so absolute, that it left behind no trace. And yet, the story itself never truly disappeared. For over 2,000 years, explorers, scholars, dreamers, and conspiracy theorists have hunted for this lost utopia. But one question still echoes through the ages. Was Atlantis ever real? Or was it simply a metaphor, crafted by ancient minds to warn us, or perhaps to inspire? The origins of the Atlantis tale. The first whispers of Atlantis didn't come from treasure maps or ancient scrolls buried in forgotten caves. They came from the mind of one of history's greatest philosophers. Around 360 BCE, the legendary Greek thinker Plato wrote two dialogues, Timaeus and Critias. Within their pages, he unveiled a tale that would spark centuries of mystery and obsession. Plato described Atlantis as a vast and powerful island nation, positioned beyond the Pillars of Hercules, what we now know as the Strait of Gibraltar. This wasn't just any island, it was said to be larger than Libya and Asia combined. According to Plato, Atlantis was a marvel of the ancient world. Its people possessed immense wealth, sophisticated technology, and a naval force unlike anything the world had ever seen. It was a utopia of sorts. Grand temples, gleaming palaces, and lush gardens woven into a society built on order and strength. But as the story goes, greatness gave way to greed. Over time, the Atlanteans grew arrogant and corrupt. Their hunger for power eclipsed their wisdom. And then, in a single violent night, nature turned against them. Earthquakes shook the land, waves rose from the deep, and Atlantis vanished beneath the ocean, lost forever. Or perhaps merely waiting to be found. Was Atlantis real, or just a metaphor? For centuries, scholars and skeptics alike have wrestled with a single burning question. Did Plato describe a real place lost to time and sea? Or was Atlantis merely a mirror, reflecting his philosophical ideas about justice, power, and the perfect society? Many historians argue that Plato never intended for Atlantis to be taken literally. To them, it was a grand allegory, a fictional land created to illustrate the moral decline of civilizations blinded by pride and ambition. A warning, not a memory. But not everyone agrees. From Renaissance thinkers to modern-day adventurers, countless explorers, archaeologists, and alternative theorists have refused to let go of the possibility that behind Plato's words lies a hidden truth. They point to clues in ancient texts, strange underwater ruins, and geological mysteries that science has yet to fully explain. What if Atlantis wasn't just a story? What if a real civilization, sophisticated and powerful, once stood on this earth, only to vanish in a catastrophe so complete that it left behind nothing but legend? From dusty libraries to the ocean floor, the quest to find Atlantis has spanned centuries, continents, and countless imaginations. Despite the silence of the deep, the world has never stopped listening for whispers of the lost city. But where, if anywhere, did it once exist? 1. The Mediterranean theory. Echoes of fire and ash. Some researchers believe the roots of Atlantis lie much closer to home, within the Mediterranean Sea. The volcanic island of Santorini, once known as Thera, suffered a cataclysmic eruption around 1600 BCE. This disaster wiped out the advanced Minoan civilization in a single fiery breath. Could Plato have drawn inspiration from this real event? Many scholars think so, pointing to the ruins buried beneath ash as evidence of a sophisticated society swallowed by nature's fury. 2. The Atlantic Ocean. Following Plato's clues, Plato wrote that Atlantis lay beyond the Pillars of Hercules, known today as the Strait of Gibraltar. That clue has driven many to search westward into the vast Atlantic Ocean. The Azores Islands, rising from the mid-Atlantic depths, have long been suspected as possible remnants of the sunken city. silent peaks of what might have once been a mighty continent. 3. The Americas and the Caribbean, a forgotten civilization. In more recent centuries, bold theorists have suggested that Atlantis may have been part of the New World, long before European ships ever arrived. Some link the story to the Mayans or other ancient American civilizations, whose architectural wonders and astronomical knowledge rival those of Old World empires. Could Atlantis have been hidden in plain sight beneath the jungles of Central America or the crystal waters of the Caribbean? 4. Antarctica, a frozen mystery. Then there are the radical thinkers, those who look south toward the cold, silent stretches of Antarctica. According to this theory, Atlantis once thrived on a temperate southern continent before a sudden shift in Earth's crust buried it under miles of ice. They point to ancient maps like the enigmatic Piri Reis chart, which oddly depicts an ice-free Antarctic coastline, as proof that someone, long ago, had seen what now lies hidden. Clues beneath the waves and the science that pushes back. In the dark silence of the ocean floor, secrets sleep beneath layers of sand and time. Over the decades, divers and explorers have uncovered strange formations, enigmatic structures that fuel the fire of those still chasing Atlantis. Off the coast of Bimini in the Bahamas, a curious discovery made headlines. Rows of underwater stones that some believe form an ancient road, perhaps once walked by Atlantean feet. Thousands of miles away, near Japan's Yonaguni Island, towering geometric shapes lie beneath the waves, resembling stepped pyramids carved by an unknown hand. To the hopeful, these are fragments of a forgotten world, ruins swallowed by time and sea. To scientists, however, they are most likely natural formations or remnants of unrelated cultures. Professional archaeologists remain cautious, if not skeptical. They argue that no credible evidence has ever definitively linked any of these underwater sites to Plato's Atlantis. No inscriptions, no artifacts, no smoking trident. And yet, the mystery persists. For some, it's the very absence of proof that keeps the dream alive. After all, legends aren't built on facts. They're built on wonder, obsession, and the stubborn human urge to believe that something extraordinary still lies undiscovered. Atlantis in pop culture, the legend that refuses to fade. Even if Atlantis never truly existed, its spirit is very much alive, especially in the stories we tell today. From the silver screen to comic books, from documentaries to video games, Atlantis continues to captivate the imagination of millions. Its myth has taken on new forms, adapting to each generation's dreams and fears. No longer just an ancient city, Atlantis has become a symbol of forgotten wisdom, mysterious technology, and the endless allure of the unknown. Disney brought the legend to life in Atlantis: The Lost Empire, painting it as a magical civilization hidden deep beneath the sea. DC Comics plunged into its depths with Aquaman, reimagining Atlantis as a powerful underwater kingdom filled with advanced weaponry and mythic battles. And shows like Ancient Aliens suggest even wilder possibilities, linking the lost city to extraterrestrials, hidden knowledge, and ancient secrets long erased from history. Atlantis has become more than a myth. It's a mirror, reflecting our fascination with lost worlds, hidden truths, and the possibility that maybe, just maybe, some legends are rooted in reality. Why are we so obsessed with Atlantis? Perhaps it's because Atlantis is more than just a story about a lost city. It's a reflection of our dreams, our fears, and the fragile line between brilliance and ruin. To some, Atlantis represents the pinnacle of human achievement, a golden age of knowledge, power, and harmony that slipped through our fingers. To others, it's a warning that no matter how great a civilization becomes, arrogance and greed can bring it crashing down. Atlantis lives in that strange space between myth and memory, between history and imagination. And maybe, in a world full of change and uncertainty, our search for Atlantis is really a search for something deeper. Our origins, our potential, and the truths we've long forgotten. Because the real mystery isn't just whether Atlantis existed. The real mystery is why we still want to believe that it did. A lost city or a hidden truth? To this day, Atlantis remains one of the greatest enigmas in human history. Was it ever real, or just an ancient fable crafted by Plato to teach moral lessons? We may never know for sure, but regardless of whether Atlantis was fact or fiction, its story has carved a permanent place in the collective imagination of humanity. Perhaps it was a forgotten civilization buried beneath the waves. Perhaps it was only a metaphor, meant to warn us of our own potential downfall. But one truth remains. The search continues. As long as we're driven to uncover the secrets of our past, as long as we still dream of lost worlds and ancient wonders, Atlantis will never truly disappear. It lives on, not just beneath the ocean, but in every question we ask and every mystery we chase.